Welcome to the Holy Yogi, where we help you find the guru inside of you. Hello, beautiful. Hello, handsome. How you doing today? It's Ilan Bomani, and if no one has told you today that they love you, you know the routine. Let me be the first. I love you. 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 How's everybody doing today? Manifesting money success stories. That's what I'm going to give you today. And Scout's honor, it is the whole truth and nothing but the truth. So help me God. Matter of fact, you can see my success story in the National Enquirer. And you know, you cannot fake out the National Enquirer. So what I'm here to do is I'm going to tell you true stories, my own personal stories of how I manifested money into my life. A couple of stories. But the key thing I want you to do is listen to the pattern of the law of attraction, because in the word attraction is the word what? Action. You've got to take action. So listen here right now. How I went from being a homeless mom with just $36 in my checking account to a millionaire in 18 months. You talk about manifesting money fast. It can't get any better than that. But I'm going to share with you incremental stories, just 3 stories that got me to that path so you fully grasp it and understand it and how it works. First story, how I manifested my first home with just $36 in my checking account. First and foremost, ladies and gentlemen, I did put out the prayers out there. Prayer is our conversation with God. Pray with you and God together in getting God's guidance and support on this journey. You cannot fail. Now, after you pray about it, then you meditate on it, because your meditation is God's answer back to you. So once I prayed and once I meditated, I was told, simply put, you want to buy a house? Well, you got to act like you know, meaning that you expect the greatest outcome for the situation. So what I did immediately from that, I was told to, real simple, you want to buy a house? Well, you got to sit down with a mortgage broker. Now keep this in proper perspective. When I sat down with that mortgage broker, I didn't know what my credit score was. You talk about having your fingers crossed and putting them behind your back. You better believe I did it, because maybe about 6-7 years ago, I remember checking my credit and it wasn't good. Matter of fact, it was in the 500s. When I sat down, but keep in mind, during the course of that time, I worked up and paid my bills on time and started building my credit, got a secure credit card. Once again, I took doable actionary measures in order to get what I wanted in my life. Over the years, kind of paying attention to it and not paying attention to it, but going through the motion. So when I sat down with that mortgage broker with my fingers crossed behind my back, the mortgage broker came back to me and told me my score was 701. And do you know the score that I needed to get 100% finance loan was what? 701. So that's the sign. Right then and there, you know God is giving you, hello, tapping you on your shoulders and letting you know, I got you back. So that was my first motivation to keep it moving. Then once again, we do our affirmation. I am a money magnet. I am a money magnet. Money comes to me effortlessly and easily. Money comes to me effortlessly and easily. And say that mantra over and over and over and over again, hopefully to 108 times. That is 9, meaning completion. So you got to put that energy out into the universe. Remember, your words create your world. So I'm putting prosperity and abundant words out into the universe and draw it to me. Now I go looking for my home. The home that I found, or maybe found me, and remember, we draw to us what we are, had a sold sign on it. Keep in mind, you got to use your third eye, your intuition, because when I looked at that home, Spirit came over me and it told me, that is your home. Then here we go, that human natural instinct. I started questioning it. Never, ever, ever, ever questioning it. Just because you can see it, taste it, smell it, touch it, and feel it doesn't necessarily mean that it is real. So I immediately shut up, cut off my mouth, okay? Because we women, we tend to talk too much, and we talk ourselves into something, and we can talk ourselves out of it also. So what I did was immediately, I contacted the agent. When I called her, remember, you may not be able to see it with your naked eye, but your third eye is the best eye to see the truth. She came back and told me that the home just fell out of escrow. Can you imagine what would have happened if I trusted what I saw? Keep that in mind. What you think is reality is an illusion. Keep that in mind, okay? So I did all the spiritual works of visualizing it, affirming it, meditating on it, praying on it, and keeping God as my guidance at the center of it to chart my course and let me know what I needed to do. And in a nutshell, I walked out of a closing. Keep this in mind. I had $36 in my checking account with a check for $636, $626, something around about that price range. But I was absolutely in shock. And I can remember, because I act like I knew, and a real estate expert, right, investor, I was told by the agent that the owner had paid the taxes for the year, and since it was the new owner, I was going to be reimbursed for that. So I had actually got paid to buy my first house with, I think it was $684, and it was close to like almost $700. And I remember walking out that closing with my little baby boy in my arms, in tears, and thanking God of how I manifested money and even bought a home based upon my going out, stepping out on faith, believing it, and saying the wonderful money mantras. Now, second story, another way how I manifested money into my life was on my journey. Keep in mind, and this is what I want you to fully understand, it doesn't necessarily mean that you have to use your money or your credit. I formulated business partnerships. Okay, with those business partnerships, what they did instantaneously, because I had the guts to go out there and do the work, I used my experience and my education on a previous, real estate investment properties. So I drew to be people who wanted to do the same thing that I wanted to do. This is what you do. You can use other people's money, other people's credit in order to be able to buy real estate. So we formulated those business partnerships, and we bought more houses, 3, 4, 5, 6 houses, and I did the transactions and the deeds. So this is what we're talking about. People tend to think very limited when it comes to abundance, when it comes to money, when it comes to prosperity. Always keep an open mind. Ask the universe to draw to me, because all of these things came to me, and it had to come quick. Like I said, it only had 18 months. Via just the meditation and the speed and the light of love of God guiding me every single step of the way. So we went out. The second home that I bought, what I did was, and the real estate market was going very well at the time, I was able to buy a piece of property, cash out of my first home. Remember, whenever anything goes wrong, believe it or not, it was in my favor, because someone had actually stolen my baby's stroller. And also there was, unfortunately, some criminal activity of the home that I was living in. And I knew I had to get out real quick. So what I was able to do, convert that into a rental. I wrote a letter explaining why I had to move really quick because of safety reasons. So I was allowed to get another loan. I moved into a duplex. I put a tenant inside of the other property, pay half of the mortgage for that particular property that I purchased. In addition to that, I was able to cash out because the equity in the home had appreciated in that home, the equity to purchase the second home, and I rented out the first home to a tenant, as well as I got a roommate into on the property that I was in on the other side of the duplex. See how creative that is in order to be able to do that? These are practical things that you and I can do. It's not puff out of the sky that it's going to come raining down in thin air like so many people think. But then again, it is, right? Because that's where it comes from. Remember, out in the universe, if you see cars, you see houses, and you see banks, and you're surrounded by so much abundance. What you have to figure out how to do is get that abundance and that money to come to you. So these were the creative things that I did in order to bring that money to me, in order to be able to manifest it into my life. So from there, as you can see, I showed you how I got my first property with no money. I got my second property using other people's money. And then in addition to that, on other people's credit. And with my education, they paid me for it. And we all won in that whole entire process. It was a win-win situation. And that's how I was able to get paid. Also, when I was in my first home, what I did was I sold my wedding ring. In addition to that, I had a garage sale, okay? I opened up my private practice outside of my home. All of these creative things that you can do. And then once I got the education on how to do real estate investing, what did I do? The smart thing to do, I got paid to teach everybody else, other people, to do this, to invest in real estate too. Real simple, real practical, and even magical. But I would not have known that if I didn't pay attention and I didn't listen to divine spirit, and more importantly, I didn't chant. If I didn't chant or breathe it or pray about it or meditate or visualize about it, because I marinated into that, all these phenomenal ideas and thoughts about money and abundance came to me in order to be creative and manifest it into my life. So that's what I want you to do. I want you to create your own money manifestation success story. There are plenty out there, and one of them is just right for you. With that said, it is Ilan Bomani. I'm going to wish you love, peace, happiness, and joy. And let's do our minute meditation. Dear Heavenly Spirit, I draw to me an abundance of money into my life via people, places, situations, and circumstances that would afford me the opportunity to do it in the righteous way. I am a money magnet. Money comes to me effortlessly and easily. I love money and money loves me. I love money and money loves me. Loves me. Abundance to you, abundance to me. Let's spread the word by spreading the wealth, and we'll spread the love. Talk to you soon. Bye-bye for now.